All right. So, maybe a little bit of a VB human tutorial of my playstyle. How you can play. Um, Basically, in the beginning, we're going to be looking to make 3 lumber camps spread out. You want to get all of your lumber workers up as fast as possible, but you also want to get your slayer as fast as possible from a slayer tavern. So, you make house and 2 tents for each lumber base. I like to hotkey my workers to force return and make stuff faster. And then you're going to want to make a Slayer Tavern as soon as possible. Just like that. And then you're just going to make a house somewhere with your last 3 workers. So, right, we started from the middle. We got 1 lumber base, 2 lumber base, 3 lumber base, and then make your remaining workers. I like to hotkey them. Force return lumber, get my Slayer Tavern faster. You don't have to do this. Just get your Slayer Tavern and your Slayer as fast as possible. Your Slayer does require 10 food, so make sure not to make too many workers. Leave at least 10 food for your Slayer. Then what you're going to do is you want to go around blocking bases, as many as are in range of your starting area. Basically what blocking bases like that does is it stops the enemy vampires from getting a shade in your base. They can buy shades at the very beginning, the first minute of the game. From this unit merchant, they can get shades up to 3, and then as many as their food allows. And they can hide them in bases, and then when you try to set up your base, they will basically taking TP to shades, so they can teleport into your base, and you lose basically because they kill all your stuff, and you don't want that. So this guy didn't buy any shades, so we're good. And basically for the first 5 to 10 minutes, once you get your Slayer, you want to be making sure to level it in the Slayer fountain. Slayer level happens every minute. Like they're in the Slayer fountain every increment of 1 minute. They will receive 2 levels. So 4 at 3 minutes, it'll be 6. Yeah. Basically, you're just what you're doing in the beginning is watching for leaks. Basically, when the vampire kills buildings, it has a chance to drop like a chest, like this, and you can sell these for early gold. So I'm going to get a pretty early gold mine. The earlier the better. Otherwise, if you don't get any leaks, that's fine. You're just gonna base at 10 minutes. You can base at 5 minutes. Just make sure when you base, your Slayer Tavern has a scope. You need to get this with your Slayer and check your base for shades. That's really important. Basically, just make sure your workers, if they get killed, try to detonate them before you feed the vampire, and just get as much, get them back and running as fast as possible. Looks like I want to base. So who wants the space? I'll base top left.
On my way. Right.
Job's done.
Orders? What do you need? Of course.
Oh, he killed my tavern.
Job's done.
Our town is under siege.
Okay, he's really annoying, killing all my workers.
Yes, my liege.
I smell magic
Aye.
in the air.
Orders?
Job's
On
done.
my way.
I smell magic in the
Our
air.
town is under siege.
Magic on with it.
The Blood Elves are ready.
Yes, my liege. Aye, my lord.
Job's done.
Of course. Right.
Job's done.
Aye, my lord.
Thirst for magic. Job's done.
What I'm doing is really foolish.
Mine is mana.
Make sure you always build a wall first. This is an inexperienced vampire, so
On my way. Right.
I'm not expecting him to find me and abuse the fact that I'm teching and getting a gold mine for a wall. So never do this. Always build your wall first, and
I am here, Lord.
Orders?
you want to build it up front like this,
On my way.
2 walls behind,
Yes, my liege.
and you want to get a mega wall as fast as possible.
Our allies' town is under siege.
For this, you can go without your Slayer Vault is a seemingly, so you do need to make a Slayer Vault to make a mega wall.
I smell
Our town
magic.
is under siege. Yes, my liege.
I smell magic in the air.
Job's done. Say the word.
Get on
Our
with it.
allies' town is under siege.
And you detonate your regular workers to make these better workers when you get gold. Gold mine.
Orders? Aye, my lord.
Yeah, he's a pretty slow
Yes, my liege.
vampire.
I set about
He's inexperienced. We're probably gonna have to feed him, but don't worry about that. Basically, I ended up getting a really early gold mine, like 4 minutes, which is crazy early. You probably won't get this if you're just starting. Maybe you will. Just built different, but expect to not. Expect to base at 10 minutes
Orders? On my way.
or 5 minutes if you want when you get your first gold. Just make sure you have a wall
Yes, my liege.
and also a fat fountain
Aye, my lord.
behind your wall to heal your repairing units in case they get harassed.
What do you need? Say the word.
The Blood Elves are ready. Get on with it.
I thirst for magic.
Once you base like this, you're basically, you want to get full supers, which you should be 12 in total. And to find your workers around the map, you just type -W, and it'll take you to the nearest workers, or
On my way. Of course.
to one of your tier 1 workers.
The Blood Elves are ready.
What do you need?
Yeah, be careful of visits to the Slayer Pit.
Orders?
Misharado, for now. And forever. I am here, mortal.
Our allies' hero has fallen. What do you need? Our allies' town is under siege.
Misharado.
Orders?
You'll love my new recipe.
Be quick.
Time is mana. Watch and learn.
Yes, my liege.
So
Wanna blow something
Our
up?
allies'
Ready
town
to
is under
brew.
siege. Right. To
Ready to
arms!
brew.
Done.
Care for a cocktail? You got it. I'll stop. Ready to go.
Say the word.
Job's done.
Right.
You'll love my
Job's
new
done.
recipe. Wanna blow
What do you
something
need?
up?
Attack! Yes, my liege.
always make a fat fountain by your workers as well, because the vampire can grave them, and if you lose your workers early on, it's a mess. You don't want that to happen. Also, it's really important before you base to get at least the first 2 masonry upgrades.
What do you need?
I'm greedy because, once again, this is an experienced vampire, and I'm very far ahead.
Right. Of course. On my way. Aye, my lord. Right. Aye, my lord. Of course. On my way. On my way. Of course.
But we're probably going to have 4 gold mines here at 10 minutes, which is, like,
Love my new recipe.
pretty much unheard of. That doesn't happen.
What do you need?
So, but just make sure you're getting the first 2 masonries at least, if not all 3. I think you need a Slayer Vault to make the 3rd one. The first 2 should be free, not free, but you should be able to make them as soon as you make a research center. upgrades your wall HP, which is imperative to your survival.
Say the word.
Here we go. He's got, oh, Beastbane Helm. Okay, so you want to be looking out for what the enemy vampire has. So blue does have a mega wall. I'm gonna come help him. Basically, when the vampire is really strong, what you're gonna want to be doing
Care for a cocktail?
is getting repairs called Knights. You get them from the Slayer Tavern. Holy Horseshoe, 38,000 lumber. This guy just went straight to a Giga Wall.
On my way. Right.
Just not always wisest, because it's really expensive, can stunt your economy.
Yes, my town is under siege.
I'm all stopped.
You need. I'm in order.
Job done.
On my way. Right. Our town is under siege.
Job done. Job done.
Say the word. Yes, my liege.
For now, for my people. This battle bores me.
Those chests are leaks.
Right. Of course. You need.
So, Holy Horseshoe, summon the Knights, TP them in, have them repair. Basically, and this fat wall is to heal your repairing units. Basically, the way you want to micro your Knights. Oh, I did miss micro one of them. But
Yes, my liege. Say the word.
what you do is never turn on auto repair.
Command me.
You want to make sure they're holding position. Repair, and then shift hold position. Basically, that'll make them hold right. Once the wall gets to maximum HP,
Additional lumber.
they will hold position.
Job done.
And that's good because
I am here.
they will just repair the wall until it gets to the max. But that does mean that you will need to watch your wall
Your love, my lord.
and make sure they are repairing when it gets low. So once again, get that final masonry, and also you want to get spikes.
On my way. Are under attack.
Interesting. So if he purchased silence, very good play. Good by him. So that's something you do have to be careful of. I'm kind of not paying much attention, complaining more. But you want to use your Slayer and blink mid early on and check what items they get. If the vampire gets items like silence or tremble, that means they can do Slayer fountain visits and just get a bunch of XP from killing Slayers by silencing them or trembling them, which stuns them, making them a free kill. So you want to be careful of knowing what the vampire has. So we know the vampire has silence, which means we're going to be a little bit more
Wanna blow something up?
careful with our Slayers.
Don't rush me.
And what you want to do is you want to go full Ubers. The deforestation house is 1 gold, and then Ubers are 14. So you want to make a deforestation house when you have like 15 gold. You saw I did earlier. And you don't have to use this gold mine worker to make gold mines. Your human makes them, but I like to use the bear. Actually, in the newer version, he's removed, so you do have to use your human. So you want to get spike upgrades to make your wall do damage back to the vampire when they hit it. That's definitely an early upgrade you definitely want to do. Very important. And you want to build gold mines until you have 15, or the mines income says 30.
And ready to go.
And you'll get used to the amounts of food that workers are and such as you play more. Just making sure you're getting those upgrades.
What do you need? Yes, my liege.
Yes, me lord.
And once you get 15 gold mines, that's when you want to start saving your lumber. What you're saving for is Ultra Research Center, and then Citadel of Faith. Because once you get your Citadel of Faith, you can start turning these gold mines into gold wells. So, yeah. But if you need to upgrade to Ultra Research Center sooner than later, that's definitely something you can do. I do want to be conscious of my Slayer. TP him back right after. Because Ultra Research Center does hold some important upgrades, especially when you're against 2 vampires or more. They have an ability called Chain, and they can chain lightning, and they can do damage to your human. But there's an upgrade in the Ultra Research Center that increases your HP so that they can't do that. Stuff like that. Just as you play more, you'll know when you need to get what things. So, and always check when the vampire is hitting walls, what he's got. So he's got a Helm of Decay, which means he's got quite a bit of stats. I'm gonna help this guy out a little bit. What he needs. Yeah, he needs Claws of Pillaging and Termites of Terror.
Wanna blow something up?
And Citadel is 12.5 thousand lumber, I believe. Or 125,000 lumber. Yeah. So, see, I can upgrade this right now. See, it's got the Human Survival Training, your Iron Platings, which you will need for later. Super Tower Builder, which builds Command Center, and some other stuff. So this is the Citadel. You upgrade your Slayer Vault. Yeah, 125,000 lumber. So we do have that, but we're gonna wait for the next minute to get enough gold, which is 20.
What do you need? Right.
And then we can start making gold wells for our income.
More gold is required. More gold is required.
So right off the bat, we can make 1 gold well for 80,000 lumber.
Yes, my liege.
And then still make sure that you get rid of the last of your super workers. Super workers are much more efficient, and you want to get those gold wells as fast as possible.
Yes, my liege. On my way.
I'm all stocked and ready to go.
Basically, it's going to be hard to relate this gameplay to maybe a newer player's gameplay because, one, we're against a very inexperienced vampire, and 2, I am ridiculously far ahead compared to standard. Oops, I accidentally just detonated my worker. This looks like he did get the... And once again, I like to hotkey my workers to force return number, so I can make before certain ticks, I can get stuff done.
You need? Yes, my liege.
This rattle bores me.
What do you need?
Our allies' town is under siege.
Yes, my liege.
I'm gonna feed him a little bit.
Our allies' town is under siege.
3 feet boxes should be enough.
Our allies' town is under
Say
siege.
the word.
Now that we have 5 gold wells, we can save for our...
Our allies' hero has fallen.
I'm on the job. What do you want? You're interrupting my calculations.
Of course.
So this guy's pretty poor.
Orders.
No, 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 not like that. Let me do it.
We're saving for command center. We're gonna have an absurdly early command center here,
I'll have it up in no time.
and consequentially
More gold is
spire
required.
time.
Yes, yes, I'm
Yes, my
already on
liege.
it.
Right.
So we do want to upgrade to Giga Wall. There's no point of greeting at this point.
Say
Pretty
the
rich.
word.
Also, earlier on against better vampires,
Under siege.
they will
On my
You're
way.
interrupting my calculations.
try to
Job done.
bring units over to your wall and then get them behind your wall, and they can TP to them, and thereby TPing them into your base. So you want to build wall towers like this behind your wall so that they can't get past.
Our allies' town is under siege.
Yes, my liege.
Our allies' town is under siege.
Yes, my liege. Let me out.
We need more gold.
Say the word. Attack!
Do you see
Our allies' town is under siege.
What do you need?
This prattle bores me.
Basically, once you get your command center,
2 plus 3 times...
generally, if it's a general time, just assume that you're playing from ahead, because that's what I'm playing from. Gates open at 27:30, which is when things get a lot scarier and vampires get access to a lot more damage and
What do you
armor.
need?
What you're going to want to be doing is make sure you turn the rest of your gold mines into gold wells, and then you're going to start building gold wells with super uber tower builders, just the workers that you get from command center. I don't need to remember the names. I don't even remember the names
Here, more.
of the workers. I just
More lumber is required.
refer to them from where you build them. It's like a CC worker, command center worker.
I'll have it up in no time.
And basically, when you get your command center, things you want to do first is at your Slayer Tavern, purchase Prosperity Hammer and pick it up with your Slayer. It quite literally like boosts your like prosperity and economy and your income overall. And then make sure to get the Slayer Hammer upgrades in the following order. You get that from the Ultra Research Center, then the Citadel, and then the Command Center. Just waiting for a good time when I have 50 gold. So we have like 4 minutes before the gates open. Just when things get a lot scarier.
What do you need?
So I'll just get it this next tick probably.
Orders.
And at this point, you
Say the word.
you're going to get these Slayer Hammer upgrades, and basically you're focusing on your economy and balancing that with your defense against the vampire. So when you get your CC, definitely get these platings. There's 3 of them, and they significantly increase the armor of your wall. So right now, 0 armor platings. I got 85 on this Giga wall. You're going to see in a second. So from 85 to 110. Second one will take it from 110 to like 135 or something like that. And the third one will take it even further. Get those as soon as possible. I haven't built any towers because I haven't needed to, but definitely want to build something like a flame tower early on. Upgrade a spike tower a couple times. You have the option to build it into right here, flame tower. This won't be available for a bit, so just do the flame tower. And then you want to get the first upgrade and then the second upgrade to make it super flame tower. Those are pretty good.
What do you need?
Trust in my command.
Then, so once again, 135, and then this third plate is going to increase it even more. So these are really important, especially for scaling, and the fact that you can get them so early on and they're so cheap makes them something. There's really no reason to wait to get them. Just get them as soon as possible. So memory was at 85 with no armor plates, just once again showing the significance of these bladings. Then I'll get the human training, because why not? $160, so it gave it a total of 75 armor, which is insane. Like, always get those for your walls when you can. I'm insanely far ahead. So 2730 is the gates. At this point, you want to build a Titan wall, either behind or in front. You need a Titan wall with 3 armor platings at least. That'll defend pretty much whatever they have. Whatever they get when gates open. By day, I mean the vampires. I'm not really afraid of this guy, but also at some time around 24-ish minutes, depending on how rich you think the vampire is, you want to sphere-proof your base like this. Basically, there's little gaps around your base, and you want to fill these gaps in with wall towers, sorry. Your little super builder makes them. CC builder makes the max level ones. So once you're about 330, you should be good to save for your spire. And make sure you get this devastating Slayer Hammer upgrade. It is 500 gold, but it eventually pays for itself while you're saving up for spire. So yeah. And at 3230 is when the vampire gets access to even more powerful items. Lightning Claws of Rending, Frostbane, and Doom Guards. And that's when Doom Guards are used to kill your tower builders. Basically, you can use the command center builders, and you want to use them as repairers once you have access to them, because they are very efficient and they're fairly cheap. So you can basically just pump those out as much as you want. Kind of put them at your front wall. And these guys will not run out because they don't have the option to attack the vampire. So you can just put them on hold position and auto repair, and they will do it.
Yes, my liege.
And at this point, you're gonna definitely want more defense than I have.
On my way.
But
Orders?
Trade complete. Job's done.
Yes, my liege.
definitely,
Say the word. What do you need?
I am vigilant.
it's hard to go over all the little specifics of the game. Those are things you'll just have to learn by playing. But I'm just going over the general economic path you need to take for teching and such. Maybe if I get another recording against like a good vampire, I do have a recording against a good vampire actually. It it details more of like what you should be doing for your actual defenses, like towers and such. So you can learn more from those. With your spare lumber, you want while you're saving for Spire, basically you can make more gold wells, or generally that's when you want to start building defenses, because
Trust in my command.
like you're basically just getting automatic lumber,
We are poised to
like tons of lumber from your lava workers. That's the best time
Yes, my liege.
to be he's very poor. Give him 5 feed boxes.
Under siege.
Yeah, see, like, this guy is so weak, he doesn't really know what he's doing, so... Like, he's not even touching my Giga Wall at this point, he doesn't have any damage, but, a good vampire will have lots of damage and know what they're doing. Also, another thing about when you're playing against a lot of, mini vampires who've died and stuff, they will blast your wells. Essentially, it's a little item that allows them to literally just blast away your wells from outside your base. So you want to try to build them towards the middle of your base. That's why you don't see me building my mines and stuff on the outside. Because the vampires can get items to literally destroy them. Also, don't neglect to sphere-proof your base. Sphere of Doom, that's the item that allows vampires to have a very short blink. They can like blink over the wall into your base. Never neglect to do that. You always want to make sure that's done at around, like, I'm going to say 25 minutes, just depending on how rich the vampire is. You could do it earlier or later. So we're nearing Spire here. About a 33-minute Spire, which is ridiculous.
We are poised to strike.
Job's done.
We must
More
act.
gold is required. More gold is required. Job's
Onward.
done.
So we do have a Beast Spire. This is the final tier of humans. This is what it's all about. Gameplay. Once you get the Spire, it's like, this is what you're working for. This is what every noob human, this is their dream. This was my dream when I was bad, and I still look forward to it. So see, he did destroy the Mega Wall really easily. But, also at 3230, that's when you want to make sure you have an Ultra Titan wall. And once again, this guy's very weak. He doesn't know what he's doing, so he couldn't abuse me for greeting here. But it's something you'll see if I have some gameplay against a better vampire. So what you want to do when you get your Spire, make a Beast Spire worker and then get the gold fountain as soon as possible. Once you've completed that, you want to get full Beast Spire lumber harvesters, so forest eaters. These guys, oh, by the way, once you get to Once you get to Command Center and Beastspire, the workers no longer need houses to return lumber to. They just return it straight to you. So it's really good. And also at this stage in the game, you want to have made
As I thought.
a few mana towers so that the vampire can't keep healing at your wall. I space mine out like this because in the late game there's an item that abuses you putting all your towers next to each other. So I just made a habit that I tower like this.
Trust in my command.
More gold is required.
Basically, what you're going to want to do is be boosting your income. Honestly, it's hard to say. I still haven't fully mastered an understanding of what incomes I need to get to for my fountain at Beastspire tier to work towards, you know,
I am vigilant.
the different defenses you need for the late game, but I'm still working on understanding it. Basically, what I kind of like to do is, if I'm this far ahead, I just really want to boost my income as fast as possible. Because the Beast Forge opens up at 40 minutes, and that's when the vampire has access to items that require you to have a Wall of the Beast. The Wall of the Beast is one of the final walls you can make to hold off the vampires. There's definitely stronger ones, but
Poised to strike.
that's like the big one. It's when the forge opens, you need a Wall of the Beast against an experienced vampire at least.
What do you need?
So you need to be able to determine if you can build a Beast Spire and get your Wall of the Beast up before 40 minutes, or if you have to make a Wall of the Beast first and then Beast Spire after. I mean, I'm ages ahead, so I obviously am making a Beast Spire first and boosting my income. So the Beast Spire also has the Slayer Hammer upgrade, which is really important for increasing your income as a human, but it's fairly expensive, 2,500 gold. What I kind of like to do is get my income to about 500 on the fountain. Honestly, there's nothing wrong with like 400 either, and that's when I start saving up for this. This last hammer upgrade is what puts your income to its peak. It's not like a significant increase compared to the others, but it is the final income upgrade. So, and basically to increase your income on the well, you just trade in gold for lumber, and that in turn just increases. When your gold fountain consumes a certain amount of lumber, it will consequently add income. Consumes your lumber, bonus lumber. Capture lumber at this amount, and anything extra it takes in, it turns into income. So basically, when you're in this position, if you're this far ahead, you want to just boost your income as high as possible. I'm going to upgrade all of these castle towers. By the way, Doom Guards can kill even castle towers very easily, so you want to have godly castle towers before 3230 for sure. Even sooner, especially if the vampire has Sphere. It's really tough for them to kill these, so you're almost guaranteed to be safe as long as you have these for Sphere. So, we're in an insanely good spot here. So your Beast Spire worker does, you don't want to use those for repairing. They're far too expensive. And they don't do, I don't think they actually repair better than Command Center repairs, so. These guys do build Wall of the Beast, or you can upgrade your Ultra Titan. But usually it's better to build one fresh when the vampire's not around, because and then using multiple workers to create it. It's faster than just the standard time it takes to upgrade from an Ultra Titan, so. I can literally afford one every 15 seconds at this point, because my income's 1100 per 5 seconds, so I can wait till for a while to have a
More gold is required. Our allies' town is under siege.
so
I am vigilant. Onward.
like I said, once you get to this point, the spire's opened, or sorry, the forge opens, you want to just be spamming these workers because they are going to be very important, because a lot of the vampire's items in a late game can explode your workers, and they can take down your wall pretty fast. So you want to make sure you have lots of workers ready to blink in, just in case.
More gold is
Warriors of the night,
More gold is
assemble.
required. More gold is
Generally, the amount I like to stop at to save for Wall of the Chaos Beast, which is 20,000 gold,
More gold is required.
Say the word.
I
More gold is required. More gold is required.
to save for the Chaos Beast.
More gold.
This depends on how desperate you are, how close the game is. Obviously, once again, this game is not even close, so I have all the time in the world.
More gold is required.
But generally, once you have about like 1,000 income, 1,500 is even better. Just the more income, the better, right? You'll be able to save faster. I'm just gonna stick at a Wall of the Beast because I don't need to, but generally, Wall of the Chaos Beast is kind of a milestone where vampires need to have their late game income comes from killing Wall of the Beasts. Like if they can't break one of those, obviously it's game over. But once they start killing them and getting into like really wealthy humans' bases, they start making a lot of money, and that's when they snowball. The late game is basically a snowballing game for the vampires. The first 40 minutes are much slower, but anything after 40 minutes, it gets chaotic. So that was a human buying sphere. He's really poor. I'm just gonna max out my income because why not? Basically, explained simply, the late game will have lots of workers ready to blink in. You need a Wall of the Beast by 40 minutes, and have lots of mana towers because it's important in reducing the vampire's mana. Because the only way he can use his items and kill your walls is with his mana. So
Our allies' town is under siege.
you literally need to build a lot of these. Also, another important part of the late game is you want to always have... Where'd he die? Oh.
Job's done.
Say the word.
Yeah, basically nothing really happened. That was pretty uneventful. But,
More gold is required. Our allies' hero has fallen. More gold is required. More gold is required. Job's done. More gold.
yeah, the game usually bugs in this version.
Trust in my command.
But, long story short,
Required. More gold is required.
boost your income as much as you can. In the late game, have lots of workers ready. Rush Wall of the Chaos Beast. And before you get Wall of the Chaos Beast, make sure you build all these bestial strength upgrades from your command center. They increase your Wall of the Beast HP by a lot. So it has 800,000. Boost it to 1,300,000 when all the upgrades are complete. They are expensive, but make sure you're just incoming, and you'll get those in no time. I think my internet's having a stroke. Yeah, so a little bit of lag. Well, hopefully this next game we play is going to be a lot better for recording action, a more realistic look at the game. Yeah, so
Research complete. You're interrupting my calculations.
More gold is required. More gold is required. More gold is required. More gold
but
is
yeah,
required.
your income's probably not going to be this high pretty much ever. It's a typically still a game like this.
More gold is required. 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 More gold is required.
But as long, oh yeah, important once again late game to have a vanishing flute. It's got a long cooldown, but it's really very helpful against late game vampire. Drags a target enemy unit kicking and screaming for 10 seconds until it reaches the middle of the map. So yeah, this is for, I don't think so.
Say the word.
I am vigilant. We are poised to strike. The goddess agrees.
Job's done. More gold is required. More gold is required.
The game's over. It's just bugged, but I can do some more explaining. Mystic Eyes are really important. Get from the research center.
Aye, my lord.
You can place a total of 4 of them. In the newer versions, it's more.
Right.
Because the map is a little bit bigger, but
More gold is required.
what is he planning here?
We must act.
Oh, what is this?
We are poised to strike. Trust in my command.
Job done. More gold is required. More gold is required.
So once I get to about, yeah. So this is a good time to teach about the different tiers of towers as well in the late game. Basically, in the late game,
To arms!
you should build 3 meteor towers when the gates open.
Trust in my
I feel like I
command.
should have said this information earlier, but you'll see it
Leading the way.
in a game. It's like an actual game. Basically, you want to get a Chaos Beast Tower at a certain point, rush that because that's a very big milestone in stopping the vampires from getting in your base. You want to make Meteor Tower, you want to make Meteor Towers. Oh, and also in the late game, never use your human for repairing unless you want to get up close to banish the vampire or something. Just keep them back, like right here, so you can use Repair Bolt, which repairs 25% of a building, so it's really good on your main wall in the late game. Basically, the tiers of towers, meteors are really important.
Trust in my
I'll
command.
have it up in no time.
Job done.
Leading the way.
So meteors are important for killing Doom Guards. You need at least 3. Also, the cripple's really helpful. Reduces vampire damage and such. And then the next tier is Moon Tower. You're never really going to have anything stronger than a Meteor Tower before Spire. Beast Spire really opens up the damage in terms of towers.
I am vigilant.
The meta
We are poised to strike.
post
What do you need?
Spire is Moon Towers are decent damage, and Star Towers used to be really strong, which are the upgrade of Moon Towers,
Job done.
but not so much anymore. Basically, in this version, 3.3.6,
Job done.
Chaotic Lightning Beasts are what you're going to want for the late game. You just spam like 9 or 10 of these. They're expensive, but when you have enough...
Trust in my command, as I thought.
when you have enough gold and income, it doesn't even matter. Also, it's really important to get beastly damage upgrades from your Beast Spire. These increase your tower's damage by a ton, so it's at 180,000 magic damage. Upgrading it to chaotic makes it chaos damage. But so 180,000 increase, so 200,000 increases it by 200,000. I don't know if it's every upgrade or if it increases it like exponentially per upgrade, but also another trick I like to do against a serious vampire is I like to build 2 command centers for the late game. Dude.
Say the word.
Well, I was gonna show you guys the end game tower, but this prick next to me is bothering
On
me.
my way. Of course.
We are poised to strike.
So you got the Moon Tower, Star Tower. These aren't really worth investing in. It's gonna be the Lightning Beasts you want to invest in.
Upgrade.
And then this upgrades to Void Beast Towers, which are pretty stinking strong. You can spam these as well, but they're just simply not as efficient as Lightning Beast Towers.
Upgrade.
And then you have Elder Void Beast Tower, which is the end game tower. And
Yes, mate.
Job done.
Yes, matey.
I don't even know if he's here at this point. But this is the end game tower. Elder Void Beast, 275,000 gold. It will light up the map and kill everything that is the vampires, including liches, which are technically invulnerable, but pretty cool. Looks like Zhang's gonna be building it, so you'll be able to see that.
Say the word.
I am here,
Orders.
mortal. You shall
See if it
show.
fixes the bug.
What do you need?
But after the Chaos Beast, generally you want to rush Elder Chaos Beast, 150,000 gold. Basically unbreakable. Like, a vampire will never break that. I don't think I've ever seen a vampire break an Elder Chaos Beast. It's basically impossible. If you're a competent human. Basically means vampires lose, and then you save for the endgame tower
Orders.
if they don't give up by then. So this is it, Elder Void Beast. It's gonna light up the map. And eliminate everything. Oh, there was one mini left apparently.
Yes, matey.
So, yeah. I hope that helped, at least with early game and understanding tech better. That's it. I'll see if I can record an actual good game here.